Greek legends are super fascinating, but also super inspiring. Not because of their legendary exploits, but because they show that stories can have a buttload of plot holes and still be super successful. So many of them just don't make sense. Achilles. Why not put his heel in? Was the mother not legally allowed to put her fingers in the water? If so, why not just wrap him up and dunk him, and then pull him back out? Also, just put your hand in, then you have an invincible son and an invincible hand. I think we should also bring attention to the fact that there is apparently a river that gives people invincibility, and yet only one person gets that power. An invincibility river would be the one-stop shop for soldiers all over the place. Why not use it for money? You could go around making 1 billion different bets and always win. Then you could make a fortune. Just a series of bets about burning yourself, throwing yourself off a mountain, getting hit by the Greek equivalent of a train. He could do so many other things than fight in war, and I know that the majority of people would rather make money. How does a heel shot kill you? It doesn't seem like that is a lethal part of the body. I'm not gonna make a razor scooter joke because I think we're all tired of hearing that when it comes to Achilles. Anyway, why would the heel shot be death? A heel doesn't have any vital organs or high concentration of nerves. The biggest theory is that the arrow was poisoned, but even then a heel doesn't seem like a good point to poison someone. You would need a really powerful weapon to kill someone at the heel. Like a razor scooter. Gotcha! The truth is, he should have covered the heel. His mom probably told him that his heel was lethal, so he could have just put a piece of armor over it. Most Spartan armor shoes seem to cover the heel anyway, so did he get a bad version? He could have just taped a plate to the back of his foot and then boom, problem solved. He doesn't need to wear any other kind of armor. He could just wear huge boots. Then he would just wear boots and then run to the battlefield with nothing else. That would certainly be a way to psych out your enemies. Heracles. The story of Heracles is a bit messed up, especially since he seems to be named after his father's wife, who isn't his mother. Heracles. He's the child of an illegitimate relationship, and then named after the woman who was cheated on. It's ridiculous. And then the woman who was cheated on made him kill his wife and children, and then to pay for what he did, he had to do the 12 labors. But if Hera was the one who did that, why not punish her? I would think that messing with the son of Zeus would bring consequences, especially since Zeus doesn't exactly have a sense of common concern over Hera and her feelings. So not only should Heracles have not had to do the labors, but they shouldn't have even counted since he was helped every step of the way by Hermes and Athena. Those two are like the backup dancers for every Greek legend. Why should any of Hercules' labors count if he had the backup of all backup basically doing the work for him? Athena told him to use the lion's claw to kill it. His nephew helped him fight the Hydra, etc., etc. Why does Hera make him kill his family? Hera should just kill him himself. If the explanation is that she wanted him to suffer, not die, then that would go against the millions of times Hera has killed someone who has been with Zeus. Plus, she tries to kill Heracles with snakes, so that was wasted. Throughout the 12 labors, she just tries to kill him, so it just seems cold to torture him if that isn't your MO. Also, he's Perseus' great-grandson? That's something I never knew before. That's one hell of a dynasty, being the child of Zeus and the great-grandchild of another hero, especially weird since he and his great-grandfather have the same father. That means that they are technically half-brothers, and his father is also his great-great-grandfather. So yeah, Zeus ruins the logic of a lot of family trees. Perseus, who is apparently Heracles' great-grandfather, was known for killing the Gorgon. He was gifted 4 weapons, a sword of Zeus, a shield of Athena, a helmet of Hades, and boots of Hermes. Once again, Hermes and Athena are giving the legends of Greece exactly what they needed. He's got such a boost against Medusa, it's like he got a pre-order DLC. Buy now, Weapons of the Gods pack for $2.99 on the Epic Games Store. Perseus' story is weirdly constructed because after he goes through the whole story of killing the Gorgon, he literally fights a sea monster on the way home to save a girl and have a love interest by the end of it. It's like the writers forgot that they were supposed to have a love interest, so they just shoved one in at the end of the story after the whole plot points had been resolved. For anyone wondering how Perseus actually did kill Medusa, he used a perfectly clean shield to see her reflection and fight her that way, meaning he wasn't using the shield to protect himself. Athena could have just given him a generic mirror since their general defense would be the same. If Medusa was so ugly that it turns people to stone, wouldn't her reflection be just as ugly? Actually, aren't reflections of people typically uglier than normal? So a reverse Medusa would turn you to what? Superstone? Obsidian? Or better yet, he could just put the invisibility hat on Medusa and then sprayed her with flour or something. Then he could just stab her and be done with it. No over-exaggerated mirror or anything. Plus, at the end of the story, he literally uses the head to murder everyone in the king's chamber and take the throne. Like, what? He just turned all of the government into statues, and he was like, this is mine now. I have to admit, that's a bit of a power move. Agamemnon. Agamemnon was kind of an idiot, and the fact that he had a stupid name is a sign of that. The goddesses of Olympus all had an egotistical bet where they bribed a guy named Paris, and then it somehow ended up with Paris stealing Agamemnon's brother's wife. Then they all took that as an act of war against Troy and set sail. However, the winds wouldn't blow. Turns out, Agamemnon pissed off Artemis by killing a pig and then throwing a party about it or something. So, as gods do, she decided that it would be even if he killed his own damn daughter, and then she would start the winds. And he did it! He sacrificed his daughter so the winds could blow. You have oars, dude. There are other ways to make the boats move. And I think he would have thought of that before sacrificing his own daughter. That kind of leadership is all too disappointing and all too familiar. My fellow Greeks, I understand that maybe these ships have a variety of ways to move in direction, or we could just, try and find another way. But convenience is the best way to achieve anything. So I will kill my daughter so that we may build a wall, sail these ships, and then we can fight a war. Agamemnon is apparently a complete douche as well, since he took a war prize from Achilles after he lost his, so he just misplaced something, and he was like, hey, invincible guy who can never lose a fight, give me yours. And then just took it. And even worse, the war prize was a person, a woman. He took a woman as a possession because he lost his woman, and that just feels very messed up, even for ancient times. Artemis was pissed off that he killed a pig, but not that he just stole women as prizes. Jeez, Artemis, get your priorities straight. Icarus. Icarus was really just an idiot kid with too much airheadedness. Get it? Airheadedness? He asked for wings to be created, and then he was just given them. Once again, like Achilles, there is some sort of impressive upgrade that no one seems to get than one character. His wings were made out of wax, which seems like a poor design choice. I know you needed something flexible, but you couldn't have picked something with a higher melting point. You're making wings for a child, for Pete's sake. Don't cut costs on resources here. Apparently the story goes that he and his father tried to escape the island of Crete on wings. Like Agamemnon, it feels like that's just a bad idea of transportation. They could have just taken a boat. Do the Greeks not know how boats work? First they forget oars, now they decide wings are somehow easier. Why would he fly towards the sun? What did he think would happen if he got there? Would he just chill out, pull up a lawn chair? What kind of child is so stupid to not listen to their father, who is apparently a wing expert, since he could bloody build them out of leather and wax when it comes to flying? That's a big deal. You should listen to your dad about flying, idiot. There's a version of this story that's for Hellenists, where the escape was a boat, and Icarus just fell off. Did his dad just sit there and not pick him up? I appreciate the Hellenists for creating a more realistic story, instead of the two of them becoming bargain bin angels, but it does feel odd to have a story of Perseus without any wings. Why did they not climb Mount Olympus? It's very easily climbable, and for some reason they just never thought of it. I know that it's probably against their religion to do, but there must have been one or two people who dared to do it. Did they see a temple up there? Assume it was the gods? Because there was absolutely nothing up there. Do you think that someone sat up there and pretended to be a god to anyone who showed up? Hello, my child. I am Zeus. Give me your money and your food, and I shall reward you with a sight of the skies to last the rest of your life.